I feel like when you think about an artist or someone who's creative, you often think that they were just born that way, that they're just naturally talented. But believe it or not, everyone is creative. You just have to unlock that creative side of you, and I'm going to show you 5 tips on how to do so. So the first tip is to get out the idea that everything that you make has to be perfect, or honestly, it doesn't even have to be good. I think the beauty of art and being creative is that there are no rules or boundaries that you have to meet. You can color outside of the lines, so to speak. So go on that me day, take out your cameras and take some photos, vlog it if you want, paint something that you saw on your walk, or have a junk journal. I feel like for all of these artistic activities, you want that like perfect shot, that perfect junk journal spread, or that perfect paint stroke. But no one is born an artist. No one is born to, carve out an animal out of wood or make pottery out of clay. We all start somewhere and work our way up to be the master of our craft. So honestly, I think the first tip is really to just start and do the damn thing. Put that stroke of paint on paper. The second tip is to take more breaks, which sounds counterintuitive to being productive and being creative. But I feel like this is the best time to be creative, because every time I go on a vacation or just rot on a couch and watch a show or a movie, that's when I'm most creative and I have a million light bulbs of thoughts coming out of my head. I feel like when I'm too focused on like a specific art project, I'm laser focused and I can't think outside the box or anything for that matter. And I feel like that really just hinders your creativity and growth, because all you're thinking about is that one particular project, that one art piece, and you can't think about anything else or like how you can improve that art piece or that project, because I feel like you're so laser focused on finishing it in a particular way. Going outside, going on vacation, watching a movie, it allows you to consume something new. I feel like when you're constantly thinking about the same old things that you already know, it's so hard for you to break out of that shell, that box, and think about something new. So stop what you're doing, take a beat from what you're working on, do something else. 99% of the time when I take a break from my work and I just have fun, do something else, I come back with like a million other ideas. And then the third tip is kind of on the same lines, but is to consume art. I feel like without consuming, you won't gain inspiration. You won't have a guideline or a standard of where you want to start. And this doesn't mean like you're gonna go to the museum, see a painting that you like and copy it word for word or stroke by stroke. I feel like it means like going to a museum, seeing a painting that you like, loving the different styles that the artist exudes, the different colors they use, the type of strokes that they have, and then kind of implementing the things that you like to whatever you're going to be working on. And then the next tip is to follow through with your ideas. Once you have an idea down, express it and follow through with it. And the most important thing here is to not judge it before you finish. For example, when you're painting for the first time, I feel like it's so scary to just have that first stroke on paper, because I feel like we think that like we can't erase it, which technically you can't. But with a majority of the paints that you use, you can just paint it over. And I feel like after you make that first stroke, I feel like the first thought is like, I hate it, I messed up. But it's like, 1, let's not have these negative thoughts about your first stroke of paint. 2, again, you can erase it. And 3, if you stop there from that first stroke, how will you know how the painting will end up looking like? You might even impress yourself by how it ends. Because for me, I feel like I feel this way with every single art medium, especially when I am doing it for the first time. I never want to like mess up that first stroke or whatever. But then, like, as I keep going on, I'm like, okay, it's getting a little better. And I feel like this is one of those moments where you really have to trust the process, because every time I go on TikTok or YouTube and watch someone else paint, it always looks ugly. You just have to trust the process, because you really want to just like outline the different shapes and everything and like where everything goes, and then you work on the detail. So I feel like this is one of those moments where it's like you can't really just quit before you even start. You can't judge your own work before you even made 2 strokes on it. I guess the tip here is to really just finish your project and then you can judge it. But even so, I feel like once you finish the painting or the project that you're working on, and if you hate it, you learn so much from it and like how you can improve it for the next time. Then this brings me to the next tip of embracing risk. I feel like it's always so scary to, you know, potentially fail. Like, why wouldn't it? Everyone wants to succeed, but risk can also be very rewarding. I feel like when it comes to being creative, there's never a downside to failing. There's only benefits of you learning from your mistakes. Say you're trying to get into pottery and you make the perfect bowl and you know you spent hours just like spinning the wheel and everything, but when it goes in the kiln and you take it out, it ends up cracking. Obviously you're gonna be upset because one, it took you such a long time to learn and make the bowl, and two, you feel like this is a failure. Then you're gonna learn why it broke, and you're gonna also learn how to make it better the next time. Because I feel like by taking these risks and trying new things, it encourages you to explore new ideas. How can you make the bowl not break next time? Maybe you need a little bit less design, maybe you have to make it a little bit more thicker, more thinner. The possibilities are endless here, and I feel like the more that you are comfortable of taking risks and quote-unquote failing, more positive results you will get out of it. But that is the end of this video. I feel like the point of the video is to show that, you know, everyone can be creative. I feel like the biggest hindrance is that like we just don't want to make that first move because it is so scary. But hopefully these 5 tips kind of encourage you to move forward with whatever project that you want to work on, whatever hobby that you want to get into. Like, there's no fear of failing. You're only gonna get better the more that you embrace those risks, those failures. So just start and keep going, and if you hate it, you can always stop. So that is the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.